Hello everybody, welcome. I'm here to do the Halloween event, although I am super late on even starting this. I did not start it on Wednesday when it came out, didn't play Thursday, didn't play Friday, it's already getting past Saturday, it's practically Sunday already, and I still have not done the Halloween event. So I'll be doing a little bit of it before I head to bed, and then I'm gonna hopefully be able to do the rest tomorrow. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to catch up or if it'll allow me to catch up the days that I missed, but it's okay. We're gonna get this done. Although by the time you guys watch this, it'll be whenever this Halloween story is actually done and over with, and it'll just be one long video. So yeah. Anyways, as you can see, I have the Melly skin. She's so cute. I also do have the accessory. I was able to get her for free, practically, because I have a lot of fragments. So, yay! She looks very cute. And I can't wait to try her out in a match. Anyways, let's get on to the haunting parade. We're gonna start. How'd I go there? Where am I? I'm quite sure that this is the way to October City. It's been a while and I'm still wandering around town. It's getting really late. The strange thing is, it's only when the sun sets that I start to see a few people dressed in robes on the street. They seem to be in a hurry, hiding their faces in their hoods and avoiding my greetings. It's getting dark soon and traveling will become more difficult. Should I keep going? Let's take a break. The road I'm on right now and the nearby walls are covered with animal claw marks and paw prints. Oh, hello. It's already dark and this town doesn't seem any safer than the wilderness. The creak of a nearby house door startled me. A veiled woman stood in the doorway, her voice as soft and calm as the still night. You look tired, traveler. Would you like to come in and rest for a while? And you are? Just call me Ghost Candle, and please keep your name a secret. It's safer that way. Thank you, Miss Ghost Candle. You can call me Traveler. I arrived here by accident and don't plan on staying long. Could you give me directions to leave this town? I'm not sure how you got here, and if you don't know about the seal, you'll likely have trouble finding your way out. The seal surrounds this town with an endless wilderness. No matter how far you travel, you'll always return to this town. A seal? How come I've never heard of a sealed town near October City? Is there actually magic powerful enough to trap everyone inside with no way out? Is there no other way? Those who made hasty attempts mostly ended up as ghosts wandering the wilderness. The more fragile ones became fuel for the wisps. I suggest you stay in this cottage until tomorrow morning, even if you're in a rush. Alright, we'll do what you say then. I thanked Miss Ghost Candle and took a brief rest in the cabin. I planned to head out before nightfall to get a better sense of the surroundings. Before I left, Miss Ghost Candle reminded me to bring some candy. This roof looks familiar. This is the third time I found myself on this road. Time and space feel frozen around me. Only my legs remind me that I'm exhausted. I'm tired and hungry. Luckily, I have some candy. I should take a break. This one tastes like apple. Oh, I love apple-flavored candy. Wait, my head is spinning. What's that noise? I thought I heard a jumble of voices. Wake up. Wake up. Playtime is soon. Why are you still sleeping? If you're not joining, get out of the way, lazy bones. I'm amazed you have so many candies. Since you tossed them aside, I guess you don't need them. Can I have them? Haha. What are you talking about? My brain is foggy. I can barely open my eyes, unsure of what's happening. I don't know how long I was out. It's completely dark now. The street lamps glow blue. Two oddly dressed people with faces painted white stand before me. Who are you? You're awake. Now we can start our game. I'm sorry, I can't play right now. Our favorite game, choose trick or treat. I'm playing too. Hand over the candy, quick. They aren't listening. Their exaggerated gestures and urgent tone make me uneasy. Their eyes keep darting to my basket of candy, clearly craving it. I only hesitate for a moment before their tones turn menacing. If you don't give us candy, you've chosen trick. Playing tricks is fun. I love it. Ha ha ha. Wait. Meow. A black cat appears out of nowhere, meowing at them. To my surprise, their agitation subsides, replaced by embarrassment. Oh, Master, what brings you here? We were rude, Master. We'll leave you alone now. Their respect for the cat is even more profound than what I saw in October City last year. Is revering black cats a custom here, too? Meow. Have we met before? You look just like the black cat I saw last year. Don't ignore me. Don't go. You keep glancing back at me. Do you want me to follow you? The little black cat leads me through several alleys, twisting and turning. Just as I'm about to lose my way, it stops in front of a house. Raises its front paw and knocks. Meow. Do cats knock on doors now? This house looks familiar. It's almost like... It's been a long time. I knew you returned, Mr. Traveler. You were right. I couldn't leave this town. I had some candy and rested, but then I passed out. When I woke up, the black cat led me here. Wait, where did it go? All the cats here are like that. They're messengers, slipping through the cracks of life and death. If you're not careful, they disappear. I'm just borrowing this place, and there's extra room. Since the owner wants you here, why not stay? You seem unfamiliar with this town. Wandering alone could be dangerous. Even though she says she's just borrowing the place, she clearly knows this town well. Then, thank you, Miss Ghost Candle. To be continued. I got 20 pieces of candy. Someone's knocking at the door. Who would be knocking at this hour? Don't move. Don't open the door hastily. The first thing you need to remember about living in this town is that you never open the door when you hear a knock, because you never know if it's a human or a ghost outside. Anyone home? Please open the door. I can see your lights are still on. It's game time. Trick or treat. Are we just going to pretend we don't hear them? That's the second thing you need to remember. In this town, you can never refuse a game of trick or treat from ghosts. If you don't give them candy, they'll assume you've chosen trick by default. That's why you must always have candy on hand. Take some candy and give it a try. If you cooperate, they're not so different from humans. It's so funny. I have a little ghosty character named Astral, and I made it so that it likes candy. And so, but you can't feed it candy, because if you feed it candy and then you don't have candy on you when it wants candy, I made it to where it will attack you and kill you. So only my main character can give Astral candy, because they can't attack her and kill her. Ooh, I heard you. Are you here to play? That voice sounds so childlike and innocent. If Miss Ghost Candle hadn't warned me, I would never have thought it could be a ghost. You know what? Let's try and open the door. You actually opened the door. I thought I would get to play a trick on you. This is strange. The light inside the house isn't illuminating the child's face at the doorway. I'm close enough to see, but I still can't make her out. These candies are for you. Wow, thank you. I won't play a trick on you then. See, just like that. Once you give them candy, they leave quickly. If that really was a ghost outside, what are these candies that they crave? They look just like the one I ate earlier, which seemed like normal candy. Does it have anything to do with me passing out afterwards? Probably. I ate a candy earlier and felt dizzy soon after. Is there something special about these candies? You ate one? How are you feeling now? I'm still a little lightheaded. You're stronger than I thought. Only humans can make these candies, but they're not meant for human consumption. These candies contain the emotions of the people who make them. Think of it as a kind of positive spiritual food. Ghosts use them to stabilize their memories and sense of identity, and even to increase their power. If a human doesn't give them candy, will the ghost play a trick to absorb the emotions they crave? Exactly, but each ghost's abilities and character are different. Some tricks can be life-threatening, while others are just minor disturbances. If you're strong enough, you don't have to give them candy. On the other hand, there are human disciples in this town who dress up as ghosts and ask for candy. They usually wear robes and hide their faces, but are not as incomprehensible as real ghosts. If you see these people, ignore them. It's best not to give them candy. You call them disciples because of their religion? Yes, they worship the sealed death god Samhain. Oh, hey, we know that word. Well, we've seen that word in one of the other Halloween stories, and believe he's the only salvation. They try to offer power to the ghosts. If you want to avoid trouble, stay away from them. It was already dusk when I arrived yesterday, so I didn't notice. Now it should be dawn, but the sun barely peeks over the horizon, begrudgingly casting a thin light. It's amazing and mysterious. A sun that can't fully rise goes wandering around town, and these curious candies. It all feels like a bizarre horror story straight out of a tabloid. And Miss Ghost Candle appears behind me, her footsteps nearly silent. She gently lights a blue candle and places it on the table. This is what dawn looks like in this town. Now that you understand more about this place, do you still want to leave? After all, you didn't completely dismiss the idea of leaving yesterday, Miss Ghost Candle. My destination is October City. I'm supposed to visit a friend who was chosen as the October Queen and ask her about a peculiar reward I just received. Oh, that's a mechanic. Paper Queen. Or Paper Heart, I think it's called. October City is only open to the public during specific periods. If I miss her stepping down this year, it will be even harder to reach her later, but instead I ended up here. Actually, I wouldn't say you got lost. You wandered around town yesterday trying to find a way out, right? You've been to October City, so this does feel familiar. This town is the mirror image of October City. Its streets and buildings are the exact opposite. It wasn't until later that various people, for different reasons, deliberately built more houses and created new streets, which disrupted the original perfect symmetry. What do you mean by the mirror image of October City? It's a term I use personally, but more people refer to it as the City of Shadows. This place is where all the ghosts are bound under the seal of October City. People in October City believes that black cats are messengers wandering between life and death. Not only can they convey thoughts for the living, but they can also guide ghosts home. Is this legend true? I saw a very familiar black cat here yesterday, much like the one I once saw in October City. That's partially correct. These cats can indeed ignore the seal and travel between October City and the City of Shadows. If you see a cat that looks familiar, it might be the same one you encountered before. However, they can't take human out of the seal. If you want to leave this place, you'll need to pave a path within the seal. But isn't the seal of October City created by the October Queen meant to keep dangerous ghosts locked away? If I pave a path out... The seal was originally established to fight the death god Samhain and his disciples, and naturally, it included ghosts of all kinds and levels of danger. Your aura is remarkably close to that of a ghost right now. If you don't do anything, you'll be stuck here indefinitely. Wait, I'm sorry. I have a lot of questions. If the seal targets all ghosts, why do they promote the Dance of the Dead, where people dance with their deceased loved ones every year? Also, I don't remember dying. Why do you think my aura is close to a ghost's? I don't know the answer to your first question. That city, originally belonging to the witches, has been isolated for too long, and I've never been to October City myself. As for your second question, haha, I trust your memory. Ghosts who have forgotten they died aren't as lively as you are. Do you have any items related to death, ghosts, or ancient legends? I do have something that fits that description. It's a reward from a commission I did a while back. A piece of paper that can be used to communicate with ghosts. The person who gave it to me explained that all one has to do is write down what they want to say along with the deceased name and burn the paper at midnight, and the deceased will receive it. However, because of the separation between the living and the dead, the sender won't get a reply. The story cleverly prevents anyone from disproving the paper's functionality by expecting a reply. It seems like a product made to exploit superstitious people for money. I don't have anyone I want to write to, so I just took it as an ordinary piece of paper. I planned to wait until I got to October City to ask Miss Paperheart to verify its authenticity. Ooh. I'll bring it up. This piece of paper holds magic that can blur boundaries. It seems to be why the seal of October City mistook you for a wandering ghost. It's also why you only felt dizzy for a moment after eating the candy. There are quite a few ghosts here whose obsessions are tied to the living. You should hide this paper and not let them see it or give it away easily. Thank you, Miss Ghost Candle. I'll keep that in mind. Now, about how to leave this place. I ended up here by mistake, and I've been searching for a way out. I found an opportunity. Since the seal originates from October City and the October Queen, they are the keys to our escape. I don't want to destroy the seal, and I trust you don't want ghosts running rampant. So we'll need to exploit a loophole and slip out when and where the seal is weakest, all while masking our ghostly auras. I'm good at concealing auras, but I'll need your help with the rest. Did you spend much time in October City? Last year I spent a few days there helping with props for a performance, but I don't know anything about magic or seals. Will I still be able to help? If I hadn't seen all this myself, I'd find it hard to believe. Over the years, this town has been remodeled, and its layout has changed from when the seal was first established. The seal of October City hides in those ancient streets, and the October Queen's location is its center. You mean the site of the sculpture that's replaced every year? You can say that. When October City ceremony begins... Oh, geez, I pressed that so fast. I'm very sorry. Yeah. Take this candle, light it, and the flame will turn blue as you walk the streets tied to the seal, or when a ghost is near. If you're at or near the Queen's locations in October City, the flame will burn even brighter. This requires time and patience. I've recorded part of it, but my progress is slow. Will you map the seal-related locations for me? If we miss this year's changeover of the October Queen, we'll have to wait another year. If it won't harm others or the seal, I have no reason to refuse. Miss Ghost Candle gently fastens the pocket watch she's been fiddling with since the conversation began. I thought you'd be more cautious, confirming if this loophole truly won't harm the seal. You have no reason to lie to me. I have nothing worth scheming for, and since you've already gathered so much information, it's only a matter of time before you figure out the rest. If this is inevitable, and you have bad intentions, it's better for me to understand more rather than be in the dark. You've always been decisive. It sounds like Miss Ghost Candle knows me well, but I'm sure this is our first time meeting. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Interesting. Wasn't sure if it was gonna keep going. Well, I guess that's it for now. That's actually pretty much where I was gonna stop anyways. Oh. Never mind, I guess. La la la, let's fill up the candy basket and have some fun. Watch out, the candies might spill. Sure enough, the candies were already airborne as the kids swung the basket. I managed to catch a few lively ones before they hit the ground. I hand over the candies and the candle's flame turns blue as the girl approaches. Thank you, I didn't even notice. If I lose too many, I can't share them with Granny and Lampy. Instead of walking away, she lingers, frowning as she rummages through her candy basket. I should give you something in return, but this one is for Granny, this one is for Lampy, and this one is for Big Brother, and this one is... I don't eat candy, you don't have to give me anything. No, that's not right. I must give you something in return for your help. That's how I've been taught. I must be polite. A polite child deserves polite treatment. A polite adult won't take your precious candy. If you really want to repay me, why don't you tell me a story? You mentioned a lot of names just now. Can you tell me their stories or stories about this town? Sure, I forget a lot, but Granny always tells stories from the past. I'll take you to see her. Granny, I'm here. Look, I've earned lots of candies. Take some. Oh, you forgot again, Moss. Granny can't have candy. Big Brother said her teeth were weak. Don't listen to him. We're all going to die eventually. What harm can a few candies do? The girl beside me seemed so well behaved as she placed a piece of candy in the old woman's trembling hand. The candle's steady blue flame flickered red in my hand as the old woman drew closer. Memories of yesterday's dizziness flash back instantly. My body takes action before I can think. Who's this young fella snatching from an old lady? I'm sorry, Granny, but I see that this candy might be bad for your teeth. As it happens, I dabble in dessert making. Why don't I make something more suitable for you? In reality, I have no experience making sweets. So you can make sweets like Big Brother. Granny, this kind person helped me pick up my candies. Just call me the Traveler. I was just about to ask, who is this Big Brother you mentioned? His name is Amber. He often makes candies and shares them with us. He's just a kid like you. A kid? Like you, who showed up out of the blue, but he's been around for a while now. He's always out and about. Nobody knows what he's up to. Another human who arrived here by accident and can't leave? I should find a chance to talk to him. Granny always sounds strict, but she often leaves a nightlight on in Big Brother's room when he's away. We have some candies for him. You always get to share too. Hee hee hee. Yes, Granny. Yes, Granny shares with Lampy and me every time. Granny is a nice person. So easily swayed. Not everyone who offers you food is a nice person. Now that the kids are playing outside, if you have questions, you should ask them now. This young fella calls himself Amber. He's not from around here either. I was the first to find him. He was covered in wounds when he showed up. I couldn't just leave him, so I let him stay for a few days. He's a polite young man. During his stay, he quickly figured out what was going on and then moved out. But he still visits from time to time. Somehow, he got really passionate about making desserts. He's generous and always shares with the kids, which is why they call him Big Brother. Either? You're not from this town either? Sigh. I've been here so long that I might soon forget how long it's been. Besides the black cats, most of the remaining humans and ghosts came from elsewhere. About the town? Do you want to know which buildings are new and which ones were here originally? Sigh. I'm just an old lady. My legs don't let me go far. I remember Amber walked all over town and talked to a lot of people. You can try talking to him. Why did he? I think he was doing some kind of research. After asking around town, he settled down and started making desserts. I don't have any stories for you. I've forgotten everything. There's no sun here and I have no idea how long I've lived in this place. It's all just stolen time. Did you come here by accident as well? Who didn't? An old woman like me can't travel far anyway. All I do is walk around my house. It doesn't matter where I live. My mind is fading, so I just write out the days. Are you done whispering with Granny? Her gaze is pure and clear, but she knows Granny and I use the candies to distract her. With such sharp understanding, she doesn't seem like an ordinary child. But then again, she's a ghost. Her appearance won't change with time. In this small town, appearances can be deceptive. We're done. Thanks for giving us space. Can I ask you another question? You don't have to thank me. I wanted to play with Lampy anyway. Ask me anything and I'll try to cheer you up. But make it quick. I need to give Granny her candies. I'm not that upset, how can you tell? I mostly feel helpless hearing an elder lament about life and death, because I understand, but the years between us make any consolations I offer seem dull. You and Granny have a heavy scent after your chat. It's sour and astringent. I don't like the smell. Is that your ability? How acute. Thanks for your consolation, though, young lady. I'm feeling much better. Is the perception of emotions an ability developed by ghosts to hunt or feed? I stroke her head, but she looks puzzled, probably by my rapidly changing emotions. It's an ability some humans learn under specific circumstances. Ain't that the truth? What I want to know is, Granny really shouldn't have candy for her health. Why do you insist on sharing them with her, even though that means you'll have fewer to eat? Because Granny gets really happy after having some candies, like really happy. I want to make Granny happy. When I returned to the cottage where I was staying, I noticed that no lights were on. It seems like Miss Ghost Candle has gone out and hasn't returned yet. Unable to see clearly inside the pitch-black house, I subconsciously light a candle. Before I can do anything else, there's some thumping at the door. Please, help me. Contradictory to the agonized tone, the knocking comes very few seconds at almost exactly the same intervals. The candle's flame remains steady. Give me some candies, just a few, or even one. I don't want to forget. I don't want to disappear. I need candy. I need candy. Miss Ghost Candle isn't here, and I can't tell whether the voice outside belongs to a human or a ghost. I don't know if they mean harm. Should I open the door? Oh god, what happens if we don't though? Because like they're doing the trick or treat, and if we don't answer, then they do a trick. I guess we'll open it. Candy, quickly, I can smell it. Give me candy. He stands at the door, and even though his tone is urgent to the point of fright, he never steps inside the house before I respond. It seems as though there's an invisible boundary at the threshold. Give me. Someone grabs my hand as I reach for the door. Hey, hi. Well, it's none of my business. I can't stand to see people's kindness taken for granted. This ghost doesn't really need the candy in your hand. And you are... Please, call me Amber. He pushes my hand back while answering my question, retrieving a wrapped candy and handing it to the shadow at the door. Since he appeared, the shadow at the door seems even more anxious, but peculiarly, he never speaks or hurries us, and he hasn't left. Once he takes Mr. Amber's candy, the shadow disappears in an instant. Well, hi. Seems like you have a lot of questions. Maybe I can help answer a few. Sigh, thank you so much. Since I arrived in this town, I've had more questions than answers. Differences in the candy. I'm not sure how much you know about the significance of candy in this place. Why don't I start from the top? This town is isolated from time. Although ghosts coexist with humans, the concept of death still exists, but here death means forgetting, not losing one's life. As long as they have memories as an anchor, even fatal wounded humans can transform into ghosts and continue to live. But time erodes those memories. You catch on quickly. While people and ghosts here seem frozen in time, everyone's clock keeps ticking. Folks outside will forget those who stumble into this town, just like people here will forget the outside world. Amazing, isn't it? Even in this lost realm, where time stands still and is completely isolated from the outside world, the rules of death still apply. This rule applies to both ghosts and humans. When they are forgotten, they fade away completely. Witches created these rules to seal and destroy ghosts permanently. They implemented specific guidelines to prevent any escape or attack on humans. If the seal is still working, why have I seen some ghosts with significant powers? The seal limits them to playing games with humans, making pacts and demanding rewards. Before the seal, ghosts ignored humans. Now they can't directly absorb power from humans, so candies were created. Only humans with fresh emotions and memories can make candies. Each time they make candy, they infuse it with their memories and emotions. If all candies are similar, why did you stop me earlier? You also mentioned... That ghost is cunning and powerful. He pretends to be desperate to trick you. He was known for targeting newcomers and tricking them for their candies. Newcomers have vivid memories and strong emotions, making their candies highly coveted. I wanted to warn you not to be deceived by him. Oh right, according to Granny, Amber, who excels at making desserts, has been here a long time. The town's layout in the past. Which are the oldest buildings in this town? When I arrived, it had already changed. Only a few buildings had remnants of October City. I was searching for a spot for my dessert shop, and didn't look into it much, but the buildings in the town center are likely the oldest. Why are you interested? Granny said he explored the town extensively. Would he go through so much trouble just to make desserts? Not to mention, he knows the significance of candy here. How can he run a dessert shop in such a place? There must be something different about him. Is that it? Oh. Moss. Why are you tiptoeing outside Granny's door? Isn't this her house? Yes, but Granny started remembering the past again. She wanted to be alone and I was worried about her. Isn't it a good thing that she can still remember the past? After all, each person's memories here will become the anchor of their existence. But Granny gets upset every time she recalls something. I thought she was starting to forget. Granny used to give Lampy and me candies she had hidden away, saying they were just for us. Those candies had special taste, but Granny couldn't make them anymore. If we eat the remaining ones, they'll all be gone. Granny seems happy when she's with Lampy and me. I don't understand why she'd want to remember those sad events. What did Granny recall? Probably her parents and daughter. Sometimes she calls out names I don't recognize. Do people have to part ways once they grow up? I think it's because when they grow up, they have all kinds of reasons to leave home. Granny waited for their return, but even the little cat said no one was looking for her anymore. Oh. Maybe the black cats here can communicate with the outside world. There are many possibilities. Perhaps the people Granny is waiting for are... Then isn't it better not to remember anything? Lampy and I can't grow up or leave. We can always be here for her. The little girl looks up at me with pure confusion in her eyes. I realize in this instant with definite clarity that ghosts are different from humans. This is a choice only Granny can make. In the outside world, time is absolute. Growing up, remembering, or forgetting, these are things that aren't entirely within our control. The illogical nature of this town stirs a profound sense of unreality and subconsciousness vigilance within me. If I stay here too long, I might change completely. Do that one. You two talked a lot. The guy is surprisingly kind to someone he doesn't know. That said, it's good you noticed something was off about him making all that candy. It shows you haven't completely let your guard down. Just like my curiosity, it's part of who I am that I can't ignore. But it seems like Mr. Amber has caught your interest too. Of course, even though he's not exactly chatty with me, think about this. During your investigation, you find out someone else had the same experience, looked for the same things, and even considered the same theories. Then you'd understand. We have a similar goal. Was Mr. Amber looking for a way out of here too? Can we work together then? No, I believe his intentions are not benign. He's far more extreme than he appears and has little reward for conventions. If you're interested, you might try to probe him, but I won't work with him. Miss Glowscandle heads out. She seems more anxious than I am about finding traces of October City in this town. And now someone's knocking at the door. What timing? Just when I'm alone. Can you open the door? I've brought some magic of the night in exchange for some candy. The voice sounds so familiar. It reminds me of the quiet boy who used to be around Granny. From what I understand, even though ghosts can disguise themselves, their voices and physical forms remain unchanged. Should I open the door? Oh yeah, we've been opening the door. Might as well continue opening the door. You actually opened. Well, you knocked, didn't you? Want some candy? Here you go. The basket in Pumpkin Lamp's hands is empty. I decide to fill half the basket, and he looks up at me a few times surprised. This is for you. An empty lamp? I heard from Moss, I'm just going to say Moss because they keep calling her Moss, that you're looking for a way out of here. This lamp offers guidance that belongs to the night. I never got lost when I lit it up. It always leads its holder in the right direction. Sounds like the perfect magical item for navigation. I've heard more incredible true stories here than I can count, but... Thank you, but this must be precious to you. I can't accept it. I'm only lending it to you. You have to return it. And there's one more thing. I have a condition. If you manage to leave, you must help Moss find someone important to her. Someone important? You mean her family? I don't know. She can't remember anything. She's forgotten her home, her family, her past. She's like a piece of moss. No one noticed her. She was wandering the streets alone when we found her. She's eager to find her memories, but maybe it's not her who's forgotten. Perhaps the living has simply forgotten her first. If I can get out of here, I'll definitely help, but don't you need anything? No, unlike Moss, I remember they're all dead. Very nice, very nice. Oh, hello, kitty cat. Meow. Hey, don't run, I saw you. Meow, meow. You led me to Miss Ghost Candle 2 days ago. Why are you pretending to be an ordinary cat now? Miss Ghost Candle told me about your abilities. I don't need much. If you can truly move between October City and this town, can you deliver a message for me? I take out a piece of blank paper and place it in front of the black cat. You remember her, don't you, Miss Paperheart, the one who took the crown from you last year? She is the current October Queen, right? They say all October Queens can talk to ghosts. Do you communicate with each other often? The black cat, which has been meowing all this time, closes its mouth and fixes its green eyes on me with an intense stare. Shakes head. So you do understand what I'm saying. The black cat suddenly scurries a few steps away and stares at me warily. There's an unwavering determination to keep a secret on its furry face. I pressed too fast. Meow, meow. The black cat nods wearily and continues meowing. I don't understand what you're complaining about, but I'm really thankful you saved me back then. I'm about to continue exploring this town's terrain. Before I go, I have one last question. Seeing how the black cat is tense but doesn't run away, I can't help but smile. May I know your name? There are many cats here, and quite a few are black. I'd like to know the name you approve of. The black cat thinks for a moment before using its claws to draw a phrase on the piece of paper I put on the floor earlier. P.R.I. Prince of Darkness? Meow meow. I'll just call you Kitten. Granny, you really don't have to give me so much. Take more if you like. Share it with the black boy. Moss and Granny, something's off between them. You can keep some for yourself, Granny. Just take it. Granny is unusually insistent. She grabs handfuls of candies and fills Moss's basket. Okay, I'll share them with Lampy. Bye, Granny. I'll come again tomorrow. Moss waves at Granny with a smile and leaves with light steps. Granny stands at the door, watching her disappear down the road before slowly turning back inside. Granny? Mr. Amber, when did you get here? Around the same time as you. Here to visit Granny? You might be too late. Following Mr. Amber's gesture, I turn around. The door is slightly ajar and I can see Granny leaning on her cane, struggling to sit down. The house is dimly lit, but I notice shimmering sparkles emitting from Granny. Granny doesn't seem aware. Her back slumped and the light fades quickly. The room is now empty. A sudden gust of wind slams the door shut. Mr. Amber reaches out and gathers some of the glowing specks drifting towards us. When he opens his hand again, there's only an amber-colored candy in his palm. You're more composed than I imagined. Having emotions is good here. Some might be jealous you can still cry. I'm very shocked and a little sad, but I have principles to uphold and an image to maintain. I didn't know candies could be made this way. It's a little technique I developed to defy the rules here. Hee hee, the seal was originally placed by witches to banish Samhain and those evil creatures, but don't you think something's off about how it's working now? If those legends are true, the witches who fought Samhain are indeed admirable. The witches weren't the only ones resisting Samhain. The witches who founded October City were indeed noble. However, over generation, the magic's power has waned. To keep the seal intact, they can't afford to focus on anything else. Even though a queen is sacrificed every year, the seal is barely maintaining itself and is struggling to tell humans and ghosts apart. This place has become a vortex. More important people are getting pulled in. You've probably noticed that. Ever since I entered the town, I've tried to avoid thinking about the October Queen. There's too much to worry about. October City claims the chosen queen will rule over all ghosts, but I haven't seen any sign of her. What happened to those chosen to be the October Queen? No one knows. When residents die, their souls are taken by black cats and are tortured within the seal. That's why almost no one here knows the latest happenings in October City, so it's nearly impossible to find a way out. Is this why Miss Ghost Candle wants my help? If we miss this chance, I might not be able to leave either. You're smart. You should understand why that witch wants to work with you. There are certain things only you can achieve, not to mention the October Queen's blessings on you will protect you from ghosts and other energies. Blessings from Miss Paperheart? I see, but are you telling me all this because you wish to leave as well? Of course, but my method might be different from what you've heard. There are only a few hollowed out pumpkins abandoned on the street. The only nearby structure that qualifies as a building is a low cottage. This is vastly different from the street in my memory, which was full of paper cutouts and ribbons everywhere. Are you thinking about how October City used to be? Oh, I'm sorry. I was lost in my thoughts. It's okay. Remembering the past is a good thing here. Besides, we wouldn't have found this place so quickly without your memories of those decorations. You saved us a lot of time. The October Queen sculpture is around here. Before Oktoberfest begins, I'll prepare the ceremony to break the seal. Is there anything I can do to help? Of course. For now, you should rest more. We'll be busy once everything is set up. Miss Ghost Candle places a few candles on the floor. If you want to help, you can watch the candles I've already lit. It's crucial that they stay lit for the ceremony. You can also use this time to make more candy. I have a feeling people will try to stop us. Because our actions will destroy the seal. Because we will have affected the seal without completely destroying it. Those who want to stay don't want us to tamper with the seal. They're worried that the town will lose its isolation from the River of Time. They're not willing to take that risk, and they won't trust me. And those who want to leave won't be happy that we're keeping the seal in place, which prevents them from leaving. It seems we won't satisfy anyone. Then why did you come to me for help? Aren't you worried I might change my mind at a critical moment? I trust you. Even if you make different choices, they won't affect the ultimate outcome. Working with you is my best option. Even I'm getting terrified at this inexplicable trust. Miss Ghost Candle seems to believe in me more than I do myself. I'll try my best. Oh, hey Joseph. Do you really believe that witch can get both of you out of here safely? I'm impressed by how much you know. By which do you mean Miss Ghost Candle? Living a long and repetitive life can make people sensitive to changes. That's why even simple activities like trick or treat are so popular in this town. But rumors take time to spread. I just happened to see you setting up the ceremony with her. Does that cottage by the street belong to you? I used to live there. With Oktoberfest fast approaching, everyone in town is preparing for the celebration. It's the most festive time of the year. I plan to pick up some old things to decorate my current house for the holiday. Coincidentally, I saw you two when I was looking out the window. These old things, do you mean this photo frame? But there's no photo inside. Yes, I'm not putting a photo in it for now. This way the viewers see their reflection in the glass. Like a mirror? Why not just use a mirror then? This is more of a reminder for myself. If time had passed normally, most people in this town would only exist as photos on walls in the real world. If you don't want to end up like that once you leave, you need the power to withstand time. What are you trying to say? I'm inviting you to consider my method. The witch's ceremony can only get you out when the seal is weakest, but when you leave, time that stood still here will catch up quickly. I have a way to stop time from catching up once you leave. It has flaws and can't make people young again, but that shouldn't be a problem for someone like you. I know I'm just an ordinary, and there's a price for eternity, but my wallet is always empty. Ha, same. Ha, no money. Okay. And like you said, I'm still young. I've only been here for 10 days. I'm not that desperate. It's not that simple. This town is a convergence of countless spaces. Time loses its meaning here, means more than just pause time. If you stayed longer, you'd understand. People and spirits don't enter the town in any particular order. You could meet someone here who died before you came. How can you be sure time passes the same way back home as it does here? I've already made a promise to Miss Ghost Candle. I'm only adding to her ceremony. It won't affect her. Rest assured, our interests align. I'm not looking to confront a witch. Oh no! Why are you giving me this? Ooh, let's accept it. A wise choice. You won't regret it. I hope I won't. The witch plans to reinforce the seal here after you leave. All you need to do is take a seed with you. This way we'll establish a link with the outside world, giving others the chance to escape, even the ghost. For me, for you, for the souls that have passed away. Moss, why are you singing to the kitten? I'm singing a ballad I remember. If the kitten learns this song, it might recognize it if someone else sings it, leading it to someone connected to me. This kitten actually wants to help you? Meow, meow. Actually, the kitten never promised to help, but it didn't refuse either. People say cats can not only deliver messages, but also record our souls. Record our souls? I've heard they can transform into someone they've seen. If this kitten remembers me when it ventures into the world, even if no one sings the song, maybe someone will see a part of me again. Do you want to leave this place? No, I remember someone crying when I left. I can't comfort them now, so I hope they forget me soon. If they don't remember, they won't be sad, right? But aren't you sad? I am, just a little bit, a teeny tiny bit. When that person forgets me and isn't sad anymore, then I won't be sad either. I watch as Moss continues with her usual carefree smile. Does she know that Granny has left us? What should I tell her? You look hesitant. Do you have something to ask me? Moss, have you been to Granny's? Oh, I know. I went to see Granny today. When no one answered after I knocked for a long time, I knew. She looks upset but quickly recovers. I understand that even though we say see you, it doesn't guarantee we'll see each other again. Separation is always sudden, and it's why we're here. This is normal, and I'm used to it. Understanding doesn't make it any less sad. It's okay to cry if you need to. Here, I've brought some candies today. Okay. Jeez, hitting us with the fuels. It's nearly dusk, but not quite. In this twilight I've grown accustomed to, I noticed some faint, strange lights on the street that weren't lit there before. The candles are all lit. Are you done setting up? There's still a formation to complete, but as a human you might not see it. You can, however, use the candle flames to gauge the ceremony's progress. Gauge, blah, blah, blah. You also gave me these candies to identify ghosts. What's their role in the ceremony? Think of them as guiding lights. They lead people out of confusion in the dark underworld. However, the same effect attracts ghosts. When the ceremony starts, many will be drawn here. I'll need your help to prevent any interruptions. You mentioned this before, so I'm ready. You wanted me to make extra candy for this, right? Don't worry, I've got you covered. The formation, carved with a pentagram, begins to glow. The candlelight flickers in the night, mysteriously turning a ghostly blue, illuminating the shadowy figures lurking around us. The ghosts are here. I'll handle them. I have no idea why Miss Ghost Candle's ceremony is so special to the ghosts, but it's the first time I've seen them ignoring me, fixated on the glowing formation. This is the way out. I can't let them interrupt Miss Ghost Candle. Even though I don't know magic, the unique rules of this town give me a chance to deal with the ghosts. With more candy than I've ever carried, I approached the group of ghosts. Let's play a game. You usually love this one. Trick or treat, just in case. I brought plenty of candies. According to the absolute rule, even if these ghosts want to cause trouble, they are prevented by the candy I toss their way. They have no choice but to stop and leave. To conserve candy, once the number of ghosts started to drop, I carefully aimed and threw each piece individually. When I'm about to run out of candy, the restless dark shadows are mostly gone. That's amazing. I didn't think you could handle everything on your own. That's an exaggeration. Something's off. It seems like some ghosts, the ones not interested in leaving like you, didn't even show up. Ha ha ha, yes, quite a few weren't interested or were too scared to come out and stayed home. But on our way here, Lampy drove away some ghosts who wanted to cause trouble. I glance over at the other ghost who has been quiet this whole time. Under my gaze, he turns his head away, his large hood hiding most of his face. It's nothing. Oh, Axboy, you're so sweet. I'm really thankful to you too, but I don't have anything with me to show my appreciation. Why don't you take the last few candies? But we haven't started the game. It doesn't have to be a trick or treat. Good kids deserve candy. Here, take them. Do you need more time to chat with them? Oh, Miss Ghost Candle, I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm not blaming you. The ceremony is almost complete. Everything is going smoothly, and we'll be out of here soon. If nothing goes wrong, you won't come back here again. So if there's anything you need to tell them, say it now. I pat the paper in my pocket that got me into this mess. I'll remember you, Moss Pumpkin Lamp. Even though I might not be able to help, if I get the chance, I'll look for traces of you on the other side, and your families too. Really? That's wonderful. Are you here to say goodbye? She waves to a man emerging from the shadows. He has a charming smile on his face. Of course, an opportunity like this won't come around for another 1,000 years. How could I possibly miss it? You're planning to ruin the ceremony and make an enemy out of me, aren't you? Why would I do that, witch lady? You don't plan to stay sealed forever, right? Neither do I. Since we share the same goal, why would I hinder you? You showed up with these ghost followers. There's no way you don't have an ulterior motive. I simply want to leverage the ceremony. You can still escape, but why not keep this gap open? That's impossible. Ghosts can't return to the world of the living. They'll spread fear and disrupt the seal on Samhain. Everyone knows this since the war. Magic has evolved. Why would we blindly follow antiquated rules? As Mr. Amber steps closer, I notice it's not just darkness behind him, but a dense throng of ghosts blocking out all light. No wonder there were fewer ghosts attracted to the ceremony than I expected. It seems we can't convince each other. This is a witch's principle. There's no point in further discussion. Sigh. Oh, I pressed it too fast again. Despite his tone of regret, Mr. Amber raises his sword. As if on cue, the ghosts surge forward like a tidal wave. Among them, I recognize quite a few who often ask Mr. Amber for candy. Miss Ghost Candle doesn't flinch. She lightly taps her staff, conjuring ghostly blue flames that drift towards the ghost. At the same time, she takes out a pocket watch. Jose? When did Jose come into this? I'm afraid it's too late to use your powers now. After all, magic is wanting, and your abilities... with your abilities, you can't undo the past like that witch did. My power is different from my ancestors. I can't turn back time, but I can still choose the best possibility out of the countless ones. As the substantial darkness and ghostly flames intertwine, a violent gale is generated. I can't intervene in the battle between Miss Ghost Candle and Mr. Amber. All I can see is the flickering flames of the candles placed along the street, affected by the aftermath. Oh, hello, cat. Meow, meow, meow. Where did you come from? Wait, I need to check on those candles. If they go out, the ceremony will. Meow. The black cat is clinging to my pant leg, pulling me in a specific direction with surprising strength. Now's not the time for this. I need to help Miss Ghost Candle. Those candles are crucial for the ceremony. Meow. The ceremony is starting. You need to leave now. Hold on. Did that cat just talk? Before I can process my shock, the black cat leaps at me, scratching my head and making me lose my balance. Suddenly, the candle-lit circle bursts with light. The pentagram forms a mystical arc, and I find myself at its center. As expected, this is the right conclusion. Miss Ghost Candle, who seems to have anticipated everything, stands not far from me. The flame that engulfed the ghost, flames that look like they would incinerate anything, arch over her and lift her to the center of the formation. Meanwhile, Mr. Amber is somehow further away. Just give up. This time your plan won't succeed. The formation's glow intensifies. As my vision blurs and I begin to lose consciousness, I hear Mr. Amber chuckle softly. Oh, is it? I won't be so sure. You chose to work with variables. Naturally, I can find my own reliable helper, don't you agree? Mr. Amber smiles and waves at me. I notice he's holding a piece of candy that looks transparent, like amber. When I regain consciousness, I find myself in the wilderness. Before me is a crooked signpost that reads October City. The sign is so dilapidated. It hangs at a precarious angle, offering no clear direction. Such a distinctive signpost is hard to forget. I remember this post clearly. It's where I got lost. Back then, I chose to go left at the crossroads. Now all I see is a straight road ahead. Have I returned? It feels like a dream. I reach into my pocket and find a piece of paper. It's so blank and pristine, no different from any other unused sheets. Additionally, I feel something round inside. A candy? When did that get there? I unwrap it and find an amber-like candy in my hand. It looks almost identical to amber, with an oddly shaped interior that doesn't seem like a normal filling. Is it a tracking device, or... Despite its hard exterior, the darkness within seems to mysteriously vanish as I watch. The faint flickering light escaping from the tightly sealed candy shell has a sparkling quality that warms me slightly. I wonder if I'm supposed to bring you back with me. I hope you won't spoil or melt. I'm not sure what to do with this candy. I certainly don't dare take a bite out of it. Carefully, I wrap the candy up again until I figure out its purpose. I'll just keep it safe. I can't help but think that holding onto it might lead some old friends to my doorstep. Probably we're just gonna summon that Sam Hine person. Not far away, a shadow on the ground begins to tremble. Under my gaze, no black cats jump out or starts talking. It's just the wind. The secrets I'm keeping make me try to find meaning in everything I see. I've never considered information and knowledge a burden before, but right now the peculiar secrets I've learned from another world feel too heavy. Getting involved might lead to unthinkable consequences and risks, but I made up my mind when I thought about the blessings that can disappear at any moment. Hooray! We finished! And I almost have enough for... What's his face? Jeez, that was a long story. Anyways, that was Haunting Parade. It sounds like Amber slipped whatever candy thing he had in his hand at the end there and gave it to us. We don't know what happens of Ghost Candle. It doesn't sound like she made it out, unless she did and she just vanished. But I guess we'll have to wait until next Halloween to find out exactly what's gonna happen. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys thought about the story if you read it. Goodbye!